Alright, do you want to see something trippy? Alright guys, welcome back to the YouTube channel today. So excited to have you here. Today I'm going to be talking about one of my favorite subjects, which is what Apple can do in the year 2020 to fix a certain product. So today we're going to be talking about the Apple Watch, one of the devices that I've absolutely loved over the last couple of weeks. It's been awesome. I just barely got my Series 5, so I've really liked it so far, but we're going to be talking a little bit about the Series 6 and whether or not you should wait for the Series 6 before you get an Apple Watch, or if you should just go ahead and get the Series 5. A lot of it depends on what the software changes are going to be. Let's dive right into this. If you like what you see, make sure to like the video down below and subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year, so your subscription would really help me out and I really appreciate it. So thank you so much. Alright, let's jump right into this. One of the first things that you're going to notice here on the overview page of the Apple Watch Series 5 is that the Apple Watch Series 5 was the first Apple Watch to have an always-on display. In my opinion, this is an absolute must. If you're going to buy an Apple Watch, you need to buy the Series 5 or above, in my opinion. Just because there's so many times that always-on display comes in absolute clutch. I've been sitting here so many times, for example, let's say I'm sitting like this, leaning my elbow up against something. This is obviously awkward. And you want to see the time, I go like this. That doesn't light up my display, okay? So on a Series 4 or below, doing this to look at the time would not do anything. So good thing for the Series 5 always on display, I can quickly do this with the time, see the time, and go back to my work, rather than doing this whole kind of dance move motion, which then also takes like half a second before the display actually comes on and lights up. So I think that you have to get the Series 5. The other news about the display is that Apple Watch will be receiving a micro LED display in the future, whether that's this year or next year. Micro LED is a technology that Apple's going to be bringing to a lot of their products, most likely in the future, just because it's far superior to the current LED displays that they currently have. One benefit of micro LED among many is that it's going to save battery life. Kind of along those lines is sleep tracking, which I'm going to talk about a little bit later when we get to the health section, but it would be great if we did have better battery life, because that would greatly improve sleep tracking as well. So I think that better battery life is something that's most likely coming to the Apple Watch Series 6, and along with that will be the micro LED display. The next thing that I'd really like to see out of the Apple Watch, so you see here you can stream music, it motivates you to keep fit. One thing that I'd really like to see is productivity apps. Apps that encourage you to stay on task, apps that encourage you to achieve your goals for the day. So on my watch I have reminders up in the top right corner that kind of just says how many I have left for the day. I wish that the interface was better on the Apple Watch. You can't do much with reminders on the Apple Watch, but if Apple Watch improved productivity apps, I think that would be a huge thing. That would be software, obviously, so you wouldn't need to wait for the Apple Watch Series 6 to get that. We're just keeping our fingers crossed that on June 22nd, the Apple Watch becomes better at productivity with watchOS 7. Okay, next up we're going to look at design. And this is something that I kind of have a personal feud with. The Apple Watch design is fine, and of course in these images that they show you on the website, it looks amazing. But the thing is that I do not love the design of the Apple Watch. I think that the materials look just okay, such as I have the silver aluminum, for example. The other aluminum option is space gray or rose gold. If you spend more money, you can get stainless steel, ceramic, or titanium. I think that the stainless steel Apple Watch looks amazing, but there's no way it's worth an extra $300 to upgrade from aluminum to stainless steel. I think that Apple would be hugely benefited by making the stainless steel upgrade $100, $99, because personally that would be a selling point for me to upgrade to the stainless steel because it looks so amazing, but $300 is just way too much to pay. The other thing is that you can't really tell here. Like I said, the product images make the watch look perfect. If we zoom in here, you can see that although the Apple Watch looks nice, so these are the space gray models, and you can see here kind of around the edges, right? You see this space gray? When you're in the sun, it doesn't look great. It doesn't. And especially when it's off and you get those inky blacks of the OLED displays and you have the black rim on your screen, it just doesn't look that good to have that border that you can see so clearly. I think that they would be highly benefited by either tucking it in, making it more of a squarish feel rather than those rounded edges, just so you can't see so much of the material. Unless, of course, you have something like the stainless steel material, which looks amazing, but I just don't think that this aluminum looks very nice. It's kind of a matte. Another benefit of the always-on display is that it does look a lot better, because the watch screen, when it's to your side, it isn't just a black screen, but it actually shows a little bit of your personality because it has your chosen watch face on it. For example, if I'm headed to church or somewhere nice, I'll use this watch face. I think that it looks really nice, and then as you can see, even when it goes off, it still kind of gives that nicer look. And then of course I can change my band too. I have some other bands that would look a little bit better with this watch face, but it gives you a little bit more style. The other one that I like is this one, the California watch face. I used to really like the navy on the California watch face, but that was when I had a space gray Apple Watch. And I think that it looked better on the space gray than it does on the silver for whatever reason. So I think with the silver, you've got to go with either the cream or just the white. I think that that looks pretty good. And then of course change out the band to something not so sporty, but I think that that's a great look for at a nicer event. And the fact that it still shows your style, still shows your look, even when the watch face is off, is absolutely crucial. So that's a great thing. Obviously that's going to stay with the Series 6, so that's just another reason why you have to get the Series 5 or above. Okay, here's the other thing about the Apple Watch that I think could be improved. Did you see these two side buttons here? So we have the digital crown and then we have the side button. Both of these, when you push them in, you can see that it moves around your watch quite a bit. You can do that, but it moves your watch around a lot. So I kind of do this two-hand motion like that. I think that this would be great, and it would also feel better if this were a haptic push rather than a physical push. So kind of like on the iPhone 8, for example, and on the MacBook Pro trackpad, you're not actually pushing in, you just push it and then it gives you some feedback to make it feel like you're pushing it. I think that the Apple Watch would also benefit from this, both so that it would feel better and less cheap. It has a cheap feeling to it right now, and so that you wouldn't have to push your watch in so much just to get that button pushed and then do this two-hand thing. Next up, and this is easy to say, but I think that the Apple Watch would benefit from thinner bezels. The Series 4 Apple Watch looks a lot better than the Series 3 and before, but if you look closely, I mean, the bezels are still relatively large on this. And I think that this probably won't be in the Apple Watch Series 6, and so you don't really have to worry about that, but I think in the 7 or 8, they'll slim those bezels down, and then this current design will look old once they do that. Okay, and then the next thing that I think that Apple could really improve, and this would also be a software thing, so something that you wouldn't have to wait for the Series 6, kind of goes along with design, but it's actually in the workout section here, is just the workout UI. And it looks fine, but like this screen, for example, and like this screen, it's just like, and this, like the green, I just think that it gives the Apple Watch like an old look. It kind of just looks like a regular old fitness watch that you can get at Walmart. I think that they should improve that UI to make it look better, because it's fine, but it could be improved. And again, that's software, so you wouldn't have to wait for the Series 6. Okay, next up is health. And the Apple Watch, one of its best functions is keeping an eye on your health, kind of where your fitness is at. It can track your heart rate, make sure everything's going okay in your heart. So that's a great feature, but it makes me breathe. See, literally as I was speaking, it told me to breathe. Take a step back, take a minute to breathe. I actually really like the breathing feature. I'm not going to right now just because I want to keep doing the video, but still cool. So it makes me wonder on the Apple Watch, what else can we monitor? I have a water ticker on my Apple Watch. I'll link that app down below. It's really great. It helps me kind of keep track of how much water I've taken in during the day, and so I can reach those goals, because if I don't have that, I usually don't drink as much water as I should. That'd be great, I think, if Apple built that right in. And that would obviously just be software. Another thing that would be great would be sleep monitoring, and people talk about this a lot. I think if the Apple Watch could track your sleep, that'd be great. I think, in my opinion, that would also be software, but the feature would be benefited by the Apple Watch Series 6, which will most likely have better battery life. It would probably both have better battery life and faster charging. The Apple Watch, as it stands right now, it doesn't charge super quickly, so it'd be great to have an Apple Watch that charged quicker, so even if you did only have 30 minutes before you took it off and went to bed at night, what if it could get from 0 to 80% in 30 minutes? And then you can easily throw it on, so it just charges while you get ready for bed, and then you go to bed, put it on, tracks your sleep. In the morning, you throw it on the charger again as you get ready for the day, get it up to 100% in 30 minutes. That'd be great. I think that that's a feature that will happen in this Series 6. If sleep tracking and if battery life is a huge deal to you, you might want to wait for the Series 6 Apple Watch instead of getting the Series 5, because those are things that can't be fixed very much by software. Another thing that I think that it would be great if the Apple Watch could track would be energy tracking. I'm not an expert, so I'm not exactly sure how you do this, but maybe things like blood pressure, maybe tracking your food intake, your caloric intake, kind of see how many calories you have versus how many calories you've burned. Again, I don't know exactly how all of that works, but that would be cool if it could track, hey, you're gonna run low on energy in the next hour here, have a protein bar, have something to keep you going. I think that that would be a really, really cool feature for the Apple Watch to have. And of course, it already does a great job with keeping track of noise levels. I think that's a really cool feature. It'll warn you if it's too loud for too long. Also tracks your heart rate, obviously, and it does do cycle tracking for women, so that's awesome. Okay, next let's move to the workout feature. Working out on the Apple Watch is fun, it's motivating, I really like it. Something that I think that Apple would benefit from with this services focus is something like Apple Fitness Plus. I know that there's paid apps that you can use to get this. None of them, for me, work super well. I think that Apple could apply the best implementation here with something like Apple Fitness Plus. Kind of using all of your health features that you currently log and then creating a routine for you based on your fitness goals and say, hey, let's work out for 30 minutes, and then it kind of gives you the exercises, delivers them right to your Apple Watch, tells you how many reps you need to do, what weight levels you need to lift. I think that'd be awesome if you could be led through a routine right on your Apple Watch, even if there was speaking or something, and you could use either the speakers on your Apple Watch or your AirPods to kind of guide you through a routine. That's a feature that would come in software, and so you wouldn't have to wait for the Series 6 Apple Watch to do that. Let's just hope that it comes in watchOS 7. And then obviously the Apple Watch is great for staying connected with people. Phone calls are awesome. The speakers on the Apple Watch are great. And obviously you have things like audiobooks on your Apple Watch. You have Apple Pay. You have your messages. The walkie-talkie feature is the only one that I don't fully get. One thing that I think that would benefit the Apple Watch walkie-talkie feature would be being able to have multiple people on at the same time. I think that's like a must if you're gonna do that. Anyways, guys, this has been Should You Wait for the Apple Watch Series 6? I think it really comes down to that battery life. If sleep tracking is gonna be huge to you, if battery life is huge to you, then wait for the Series 6. Can't hurt, it's gonna be a better watch anyways and probably stay at the same price. If those things really don't matter too much to you and you're just looking forward to have an Apple Watch, then yeah, I'd get the Series 5. It's an awesome watch. I think it's the best Apple Watch Apple has made, and there's really not much that they're gonna release in software on June 22nd that won't apply to the Apple Watch Series 5. A lot of those things that we talked about today are gonna be software that will come to the Series 5, so that's gonna be great. And then of course we can look forward in the future to the Apple Watch Series 7, Series 8, new designs, new features coming into it. I think that the Apple Watch has a really bright future and it's exciting to see where Apple's going with it. So thank you so much for tuning in today, guys. I can't wait to see you at the next one. Again, please like this video and subscribe so we can get to our goal of 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And I've been Austin, so glad to have you here. Stay safe in quarantine, stay happy, stay healthy, and we'll talk to you again soon. Leave any questions, comments you have down below. Love to hear them and love to chat. All right, thanks guys, have a great day.